Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday live streaming from Oregon Weight and Wellness, and Rachel from Whole Life Health. So, Rachel, it's cloudy today.
Yes.
But you know what I was thinking? That gives all the people who say, "Oh, I can't walk because I'm too hot. It's too hot." It's not too hot today.
That's right. That's right. For all of you, I can't get sweaty. Well, you're not going to get sweaty today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out there and walk on your lunch hour. Yeah, that's right. So we talked a little bit about limitations last week because we're really trying to dig into the difference between dieting and lifestyle. What's the difference? And actually sometimes the behavior can look similar, right? Sometimes our behaviors can look similar. However, yes. However, because we're watching what we're eating, we're exercising. Isn't that dieting? Well, it can be, yeah, right.
Yeah,
and right. But it's the mindset, Rachel. Right? It's just the motivation behind it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I love that you're bringing this. We didn't mention that last time, and
Yeah,
I think that's a
so.
critical thing. Well, we haven't mentioned that at all in this entire series of diet mentality versus lifestyle mentality. I heard somebody say one time, ask the question, isn't fasting just starving yourself and becoming anorexic? And it's not the same thing. And much of that has to do with the intention and mindset behind what you're doing and why you're doing it and what your goal from it is. So that there really is a difference, because of course, if we want to get healthier, we have to change some things about what we're doing, which means we likely have to eat some differently ways, in different ways, or exercise in different ways, or sleep differently, and these are all changes that can feel like, well, you guys are just talking about dieting.
Right. Because if we keep doing the same thing,
same results.
Right.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Right. Yeah. So we have to change something, and frequently it's what we're eating or how we're moving. And doesn't that look like a diet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And it can, and it truly can feel very, very different when your mind is changed, when your mindset is changed, and you have a different perspective on what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, how long it's going to take, the patience of the process, and accepting and kind of circling back to the limitations of where you're at and what your body is capable of.
Yeah. And you brought up fasting, and I just wanted to parse that out for just a second. The difference between starving yourself, which is kind of diet mentality, versus choosing to fast. Your brain and your nervous system goes into one thing completely differently than another. You're stressed out. You're in fight or flight mode when you are starving yourself, by the behavior looks like you're not eating anything. But your brain and your heart and your psychology and your sympathetic nervous system is amped, and cortisol is up. And actually, you might not even lose any weight. But when you purposefully choose mindfully to do some intermittent fasting or maybe a 24-hour fast, it looks the same. You're not eating. You didn't However, you are going with breath. You're going in with engaged parasympathetic nervous system. You're going in with the mindset that, okay, well, if I really get hungry, I'm going to go ahead and eat something, kind of a thing, and not feel like a failure versus you failed over here.
Right. Oh, what a great description. Yeah, nicely described there, because I think as you talked, I could see it and feel, and I think that people listening can see and feel what that feels like differently, and how from the outside looking in, an observer just sees that you're not eating. It's that the behavior is exactly the same. I'm not taking in calories, but the purpose and reason, the mindset, and therefore your entire metabolism, your entire biology and physiology and all of it, psychology, it's all different. Yeah, that's really big. I think that for me, that's a big aha. I hope that people are hearing that and realize that's that mind-body connection. Lifestyle change is a mind-body connection. Diet mentality is against body. It's mind against body, body against mind. It's a battle.
Yeah. Yeah. And lifestyle is bringing it together, understanding the connection, embracing the connection and going with it. Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. We learn a lot about this in one of the books that we jump in. I mean, we just dig in and dive in and dissect and chew up and enjoy. Yeah. Eat up, which is called The Slowdown Diet. And Mark David wrote that. So, and there are a lot of people in this mindful eating space. Dr. Michelle May is another one that we do a lot of referring to. And and the diet lifestyle kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So last week, Rachel, we were talking about limitations. And I wanted just to circle back and kind of talk about that a little bit more because I felt like, I don't know, I might've been limited in my brain last week, but I had more thoughts on that after I left the conversation. And so I just wanted to bring it back.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I think, sometimes when we think of limitations, we think of it in a very negative way, right? I can't do this, I can't do that, whatever. Yeah. And whereas perhaps the goal of, recognizing our limitations is really accepting and seeing the realistic picture of where I am right now. Yeah. In this present moment, right? This is where I am. Okay.
Yeah.
And and it's being able to not dog myself for where I am, but really kind of embrace myself. And so that I can truly see, I can step back and truly see, where I am, who I am, what I'm doing, and not pretend, that I'm, and which would give me more clarity. If I can see where I am, maybe I'm going to have more clarity of vision of where I want to be.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking of an example, I'm thinking of a real life example of this. Many patients and clients I work with, they want to food plan, meal prep, have dinners. And when we talk about what that could look like and what the goal is, the belief is I should be able to make a healthy dinner every night of the week, or I should be able to prep all of my lunches and, have 7 meals and things like that. And even as we talk it out, it's a lot of work to help someone recognize you can't. And I'm here to tell you, you can't and you won't. And it feels really bad to limit ourselves and to accept the belief that I likely probably am not able to do this giant goal. And so if that's my limitation, what then could I do?
Right.
Like you said, now suddenly I can step back and go, okay, my limitations are I'm a mom of 4. I work full time. I do soccer coaching on, weeknights, and I've got, that's real. Accept it. Be kind and generous with yourself. Like you're doing a lot and you've got a lot going on. And then from there, like you said, I can pull back into the bigger picture. If those are my limitations, and so a lot of times the limitations are things we've chosen. I choose to work full time. I might feel like I have to, but I also choose to. I choose to be a good parent who's involved. I choose, you've chosen things in your life.
Right.
So then you can step back, get those goggles and go, okay, so then with the limitations I have, what can I do? What do I want to do? What limitations could I tweak and change so that they're no longer limiting factors?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's so true. Yeah, maybe I've overextended myself. Maybe actually, maybe I have to recognize, oh, I'm a human being and I need to sleep. I have a limitation. I need sleep. And the 5 hours that I'm scheduled, and because I've signed up for A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, gosh, that cuts down on my sleep time. And when I don't get sleep, then I'm not showing up for A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Right. So I got to rethink this because and you're not judging yourself. You're accepting the fact that you're a human being that needs to eat real food, move your body and sleep. Right. In regular patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
Something is paying the toll for our lifestyle, right? Some part of our life is paying the toll, and we pretend like it's not, like it doesn't cost us anything, like we can get away with it. And our health starts to tell us we can't get away with it, right? Or our careers, we start to struggle in our careers or job performance, or perhaps in our parenting, but something starts to give way. And I think the acceptance of the limitations, I mean, imagine what if we could show up with each other with our limitations. Now, I think that this absolutely goes against the perfectionist's mindset. And for so many of us, we're all or nothing, go big or go home, black and white thinkers. And if you think that way, then there's no such thing as limitations. The sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want. And I just don't buy that philosophy. I can do a lot of things, but probably not all at the same time. Maybe there's a season for a lot of things I want to do.
Right.
So if I show up with my limitations and I accept and acknowledge them and embrace them, and I'm honoring them, and excuse me, and then therefore not a perfectionist, when I present these limitations to others around me, it's amazing how they respond, right? When, for instance, if you're sick and you're hacking up a lung, that's a limitation. And you say to me, Rachel, I can't show up on Thursday, I'm sick. Of course.
Right.
And I accept your limitation and I honor that with you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But if you show up sick and you're going to push through and you're going to do it because that's what a good person does, I might say, okay, well, I'll follow your lead. And you didn't honor what your body needs, and I didn't honor it because you didn't ask me to, right? So it's amazing what can happen if we show up with our limitations and how people can accept them. And
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's going from that all or none mindset, like throwing in the towel. If I can't do it if this way, then forget about it. Yeah, and it's so it's kind of saying no to that, saying no to the all or none, and most of the time. But then it's not stretching yourself, not pushing yourself. It's recognizes where you are, and then that you are here, and then you're in the not yet. You're in both. You're in here, the here and now, and then you kind of seeing yourself in the not yet, and then you're becoming this not yet person. So
love it.
So good. And I think that you recognize then also what you can control and what you can't control. And then when that differentiation happens, then it's a release of pressure on yourself, and maybe it's a delegation of responsibility, over here, something like that.
Yeah, right. And I can hear my own inner critic voice trying to pipe up right now. So I'm sure people listening can hear that inner critic, right? Well, don't you have to push hard to make things, push yourself out of your comfort zone, step out of your norm. And so there is a balance. We're not talking about accepting and then just sitting back and, I have limitations,
that's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Can't do anything. Right. Clearly there's a balance that has to be struck here. And I guess if I'm thinking about it, for me, it's paying attention to, do I feel good about the current balance?
Mhm.
Can I afford this? If I push myself out of my comfort zone, can I
Mhm.
afford it? And in which way?
Mhm.
And then likely, what will I have to say no to in order to
Yeah.
make this thing happen?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So good. It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I mean, it is about, making those, it is about setting those realistic goals
Hmm.
and then doing the next step, the next right thing. Right.
Hmm.
It's not about sitting back and doing nothing because that's also all or nothing. So that's right. That's the nothing,
Ah,
all or nothing. Right.
nice.
That's
Nice.
not,
Good. Okay, great. So now we have more clarity.
yeah.
Both can be all or nothing.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like wash your hands. Okay. But no, what can I do? What can I change?
Hmm.
And yes, and when I change that, because this all of a sudden part of my who I want to be
Yeah.
that level of priority or that value has kind of come to the surface,
Hmm.
which may change other things in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And it really is about the priorities. So we all
Mhm.
have them. We all put things in priority and in
Mhm.
a hierarchy.
Yeah.
We just have to acknowledge that we do and
Mhm.
name them
Right.
and maybe write them out. Like, what am I prioritizing? And what, and then you can see like, oh,
Mhm.
this is out of balance, or oh,
Mhm.
this one needs to go over here. And you know, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think it's, I like it because, considering it, thinking about it, reflecting on
Hmm.
limitations and where we are in because then really there is less of a like feeling sorry for myself. I
Hmm.
think there's less of that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
believe, for example, so all right, here I am, and this is my metabolism right now, and this is my health right now. And for whatever, I am not able to tolerate, eating ice cream every day. Poor me, woe is me,
Mhm. Mhm.
I really want to eat ice cream every day, so, but I can't,
Yeah.
that might be a, sophomoric example, but sometimes we run
Mhm. Yes.
into, in ourselves, like, oh,
Sure.
I can't eat whatever I want. Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the you can eat whatever you want, but it might have certain consequences for you. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah. Because of the limitations of what your health is right now. Um, However, embracing the now and the not yet of that is that, well, there are some things that I can change about my health.
Right. Yeah, I think that you're right, that when we accept it and acknowledge what it is, it switches from the diet mentality of "I can't" and "poor me"
Mhm.
to "Here's the reality of my situation and where I'm at today,
Mhm.
and I'm moving to a different place than not yet,
Mhm.
and so let's see how it goes."
Mhm. Yeah.
Understand that these are limitations now. I'm gonna live
Mhm.
within these limitations for right now,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna move forward with the way that the changes that I want to make, so that I
Mhm.
can get to the not yet.
Yeah.
And then let's just see. Let's take it step by step. Let's see how it
Right.
goes. Let's see
Yeah.
what I'm capable of.
Mhm. Yeah, and I like the way you kind of you mentioned that dieting because yeah, the dieting is restrictive. It's poor me. Can't eat this. I
Mhm.
can't eat that.
Yeah.
It is all or none. You
Mhm.
know, hmm and it really isn't. And versus lifestyle, which is honoring where I am now and seeing my better self, and
Yep.
then that's path to get there. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so
Love
good.
it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you saw me walk with my computer. I was taking my part of my dinner out of the oven.
Okay.
I'm
So let's go. What's for dinner?
I'm roasting. Oh yeah, you got a second. You got a second. I'm roasting eggplant, and I have I,
Oh,
yeah, I have a marinara sauce, and then I'm zoodling zoodle. So I have to come up with a protein on that one. But yeah.
That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. For dinner for us, we're doing yum bowls, like Buddha bowls. We had a yum sauce thing given to us, and it's good, but it's so oily and so high calorie. So I'm just drizzling, with a little bit of the flavor, but then layering all of my yummy veggies in like the Nourish bowl that we've done so many times before. So that's dinner for us again tonight.
Good. That sounds good. And I know you're hard pressed. You got to go, don't you, Rachel?
I got to go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're good. All right. Until next time. Remind me to talk about this yummy non-dairy dessert that I'm making. Yeah, it's so good. Okay.
Oh, yes, dessert. Okay, we'll talk about it next time.
Okay, next time.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.